All right, good evening, folks. It is 6 o'clock. I'll call the 22nd regular Common Council meeting to order. Will the clerk call the roll?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Alderperson Bellinger.
Here.
Alderperson Boris.
Here.
Alderperson Close.
Here.
Alderperson Decker.
Here.
Alderperson Gravine.
Here.
Alderperson Heidemann.
Glad to be here.
Alderperson Menzer.
Excused.
Alderperson Mitchell.
Here.
Alderperson Perella.
Here.
Alderperson Rust. There are 9 present.
Thank you. If folks are able, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Alder Decker, is there a motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting?
Thank you, Mayor. I move to approve the minutes from the 21st regular council meeting held on February 2nd, 2026.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of approval of the minutes, state aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Minutes are approved. Next, appointments, City Attorney.
Pursuant to Section 2-198 of the Sheboygan Municipal Code relating to the Director of Facilities, Mayor Ryan Sorensen and City Administrator Casey Bradley recommend Hugo Cardenas Jr. be appointed as the Director of Facilities for the City of Sheboygan effective April 6, 2026.
That lays over. Next, item 6, more confirmation of appointments. City Attorney.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Marlo Testweed, H.C. Dennison, David Gass, Rhodey Dales, Andrew Jacas, EOS, Rick Grant, RGA, PR, Sarah Woozencraft, Relish, to be considered for appointment to the Harbor Center Business Improvement District. Barbara Alvarez, to be considered for appointment to the Library Board.
Thank you, Alder Decker.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to confirm.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All right, this is a roll call vote.
Nine ayes.
All right, that is approved. Anyone for public forum this evening, City Clerk?
We have 2 people signed up. The first one is Asher Heimerman.
Is Mr. Heimerman here? All right, seeing none. Next one.
Robert Lyons.
All right, Robert, if you want to introduce yourself, your address, and the item you're speaking on, and you'll have 5 minutes.
Sure. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the Common Council. My name is Robert Lyons. I live at 2746 North 29th Street. I'm here to discuss item number 17, Resolution 165-2526, the removal of 500...
Robert, can you just move the mic a little bit? Thank you.
The removal of 567 dead ash trees in Evergreen Park with the assistance of a $25,000 DNR grant. I'm in favor of approving this resolution to assist with the cleanup of dead ash trees in this park. I would like to stress that 7 of the trees selected for removal would be considered large and dangerous. The remaining 97 immature and 312 large saplings may pose a fire hazard or are more of a nuisance than anything else. While removing 567 trees sounds like a good number, in the reality, barely making a dent in what is now a covered in trees forest itself would be considered dangerous, widowmakers, or fire hazards. This perhaps represents only 5 to 10% of the trees needing attention that are either dangerous, downed, or dead. Yes, if you do the math quickly, that turns into 5 to 10,000 trees. Keep in mind that these small and easily removable trees have a $34,000 price tag currently. Thus, a significant funding will be needed in the future to make the park both safe for fire and or for pedestrians and for cyclists enjoying the park's beauty within. It would be comforting for me to walk through the park without having to look up in the air for dangerous trees or limbs while walking, as well as for my nephew and his friends who enjoy the park themselves. Concerns me for the dangerousness of having a lot of tree limbs and branches and trees hanging up. I have hope with hiring of the new parks manager that the city will retain somebody with the motivation, commitment, and knowledge to return not only this park to what it once was a decade or two ago, but all of our beautiful and precious parks with the city. This manager has a significant role with parks being a staple of our tourism and with the redevelopment of the Harbor Center Marina project in the next few years. Ideally, the new parks manager would review the parks and propose a future 5 to 10-year plan for restoration, significantly evergreen as it is the largest at almost 100 acres with the densest forest population and in need of the most support, especially after the 2022 windstorm that has yet to be repaired. Current funding for Evergreen Park consists of lawn care, leaf blowing, and cleaning of the restroom facilities. An annual budget is needed to take place for forestry and conservation to prevent these financial setbacks to our city in the future. Thank you for your consideration. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Robert. All right. That concludes public forum for this evening. All right. Well, good evening, everybody. City council members, department heads, city staff, and most importantly, my fellow Sheboyganites. Good evening. It's an honor to stand before you tonight to once again deliver my State of the City address. With 2025 in a rearview mirror, we look ahead to the future, a future filled with progress and opportunity. This past year, we've accomplished so much together, and tonight we'll reflect on those achievements and celebrate the people who made them possible and share in the opportunities that lie ahead for our great city. Sheboygan continues to thrive because of the dedication of our 450 city employees. Every day, they show up, provide essential services that keep our city running. Services that many of us take for granted, but make the life for all of us great in Sheboygan. From the public works crews who wake up at dawn to plow snow, to the police and firefighters who run towards the dangers and respond to emergencies, to the librarians who inspire young minds, these are the people who make Sheboygan strong. Their commitment is the backbone of our success, and tonight we recognize their hard work and thank them for all their service to our community. We are a city built on hard work and innovation, a city shaped by Lake Michigan, strengthened by manufacturing, energized by entrepreneurs, artists, and educators, and family who believe in this place and invest their lives in Sheboygan. Tonight, I'm proud to say that the state of our city is strong and is getting stronger. A strong, vibrant community begins with access to quality housing. As local businesses grow and invest in Sheboygan, we must ensure that their employees and their families have a place to call home. Housing is not just about bricks and mortar, it's about stability and thriving in our community. We all know the challenges that we face. High demand, low supply drives up cost for everybody. That is why we're supporting multiple housing projects at multiple price points throughout the community, encouraging redevelopment and working with partners to ensure seniors, families, and working folks have a place to call home. Earlier this year, we cut the ribbon on the Gateway Apartments on Erie Avenue, which included 44 units, including affordable homes, as well as units for veterans. This project was possible with the support from the council, investing American Rescue Act dollars into this program and partnering with Partners for Community Development, which is a great local nonprofit. And this is a true example of when we work together, we can make good things happen. In the coming weeks, we'll have groundbreakings on several more projects. One of these projects will be the Litkey Apartments at the old Jacobs Hall property, which will be 33 new housing units coming online very soon. This project revitalizes a former vacant building and lot into quality housing. Additionally, another significant project will soon be underway at the old Mayline site. After Mayline closed its doors several years ago, we were able to clean up the site and prepare it for construction. This project will be 280 units, and this project will benefit the entire community by enhancing the riverfront, the river walk, and adding new kayak launches along the way. Well, also on the south side, the Malibu apartments are underway, and this is 210 units right on the shores of Lake Michigan, once again revitalizing a former contaminated Optenberg site. We're also partnering with Habitat for Humanity to identify underutilized lots throughout the city so we can build more affordable single-family homes. Habitat does so much great work throughout our community, and we're blessed to have them as a key strategic partner to provide more housing options. Across Sheboygan, you can feel the momentum. New businesses are opening up, and longstanding employers are reinvesting and expanding right in our city. Entrepreneurs are choosing Sheboygan as a place to start and grow their ideas. The Vollrath Company, which has been in Sheboygan for 150 years, is expanding its headquarters and manufacturing footprint right here in our city with a multi-million-dollar investment. We're excited about this project to keep good union jobs right here in our city. Our community is fortunate to have so many great food production manufacturers as well, everything from beer, brat, and cheese right here in our backyard. Old World Creamery, right on Erie Avenue, continues to grow and expand with the support of the Redevelopment Authority. They're adding more lines and providing more supplies of butter and cream cheese and everything in between. And also, I always like to remind folks, Old World Creamery is now the second largest butter producer in the state of Wisconsin. Another one of our great food manufacturers is Old Wisconsin. Old Wisconsin Sausages recently acquired an old plant in our business park and will work towards adding another production line producing more food right in Sheboygan. Additionally, at a recent council meeting, after 10 years of struggling to capture interest in our industrial park, we now are moving forward with a new logistics and distribution center for Amazon. This will result in more local jobs to our community and provide more visibility of the interstate of our industrial park. And 60% of what Amazon distributes comes from small businesses and independent sellers as well. Additionally, this past year, Acuity celebrated its 100th anniversary, a century of providing insurance to businesses and homeowners all over the United States. Their continued investment in our community makes a positive difference, and recently Acuity announced that they'll be adding another 200 jobs this past year. We also want to recognize a cornerstone small business in our downtown. Freak Toys recently began their business 15 years ago. From video games to action figures, this place has so many incredible items. Matthew and Melanie, who are the owners of Freak Toys, continue to add cool events right in the heart of our downtown, like having the rock and wrestling block party that they continue to have every summer. We are so lucky to have this small business celebrating an achievement of 15 years right downtown. Our industrial base remains a cornerstone of our economy, while emerging sectors such as insurance, logistics, tourism, food and beverage, and the creative economy are adding new energy and diversity to our job market. Together, we're creating opportunities at every level so residents have the opportunity to build a future here. It's critically important that our city continues to make investments that help our city thrive. This is why our capital improvements plan prioritizes investments in road and infrastructure in order to keep our neighborhoods connected and our economy moving forward. In 2025, our DPW team completed 12 road projects, including some main corridors like South 7th Street, Division Avenue, and Taylor Drive, just to name a few. And this year, we plan for 15 more road construction and repair projects, including parts of Ontario Avenue, Erie Avenue, and South Business Drive, just again, to name a few. Along the way, we're upgrading our water and sewer infrastructure to make sure that we have reliability for years to come. These investments might not make headlines every day, but they are essential to the services that we provide as a municipality. At the same time, we're making thoughtful investments in quality of life projects that make Sheboygan a place where people want to live, work, and visit. One of our true gems downtown is the Mead Public Library. From their ever-expanding programs to the foundation's support of their new 24-hour pickup service, the library continues to be a wonderful asset for our community. After many years, the library is finally receiving a much-needed new roof, an investment in preserving this vital resource for future generations to come. No more videos or pictures will circulate around of old buckets collecting water during rainstorms. We also want to recognize that one of our city employees at the library, Allison Lowen, a youth services librarian, was recently honored as the Librarian of the Year by the Wisconsin Library Association. We want to once again congratulate Allison and the entire Mead Public Library team for their continuing outstanding work. In 2025, the Department of Public Works launched a new citywide large item collection program. In the first year, in 2025, DPW collected 172.14 tons of material. That is roughly the equivalent of 87 cars, which included 2,137 people in Sheboygan to come through DPW to drop off their items. This initiative keeps our city clean and helps prevent waste from ending up in neighbors' yards, our parks, and our waterways as well. Another way that we're moving forward with making improvements in the quality of life in Sheboygan is updating our outdated zoning code and comprehensive plan to reflect Sheboygan's needs for the future. In Wisconsin, a comprehensive plan is a long-range policy document that guides the city's growth and development looking forward 20 years in the future. While we're still making many updates to the zoning code, in the new draft so far, we have proposed legalizing solar power in every zoning district, expanding housing options like accessory dwelling units and cottage courts, regulating short-term rentals to protect neighborhoods, and establishing some guardrails for potential data centers and payday loan stores. Our old zoning code does not even mention or offer any protections from data centers or payday loan stores. Some cities have gotten rolled because they've not had the proper protections in place for new development. These changes are more than just policy. It's about shaping the future our city wants and what we want to inspire to in the future. And we do have so much more work to do on these many-page documents. We want to ensure that the zoning code reflects the needs of our community, and that is why I referred this back to the Plan Commission, so we can strengthen it and continue the conversation. We will also be holding 2 community input sessions very soon for the comprehensive plan on March 19th. These sessions will be at Uptown Social, and I encourage interested residents to attend and share their thoughts and ideas. And speaking of Uptown Social, this incredible institution now has 1,700 members, many more than we had before building the new Uptown Social location. Uptown Social continues to be a vibrant organization for active seniors. They provide a wide variety of groups focused on fitness, recreation, travel, and creativity as well. In walking downtown, one can see these past few years that it's continued to be a hub for activity, culture, and connection. New restaurants and housing are being brought to our community, and they're bringing people together. Recently, the Plan Commission approved the conditional use permit for Seared, a Korean barbecue and karaoke space, revitalizing a former vacant building right downtown. Additionally, our largest building in our downtown, the U.S. Bank building, now has new owners. Our friends at Bertram Communication recently acquired this building and is making significant investments to restore this iconic landmark. Additionally, soon, we'll be having a new brand-named hotel with the distillery right in the heart of our city as well. Downtown is alive and evolving with many other more projects going on, and the energy is spreading throughout our community. Across neighborhoods, we see the pride and reinvestment in community-led efforts strengthening each block at a time. Additionally, a strong city is a safe city. Our police and fire departments continue to serve with compassion and dedication and ensure that Sheboygan is still one of the safest cities in the state of Wisconsin. And they are supported by every staff across every department whenever there's a need. This past year, crime in 2025 was down more than 10% compared to 2024, and the 5-year average in motor vehicle crashes were the second lowest in last year alone in 25 years, second to only 2020 when people basically weren't driving. With the investment and partnership, we've established a crisis co-response program to better respond to those experiencing mental health crisis. I am pleased to share that this program has reduced involuntary commitments by more than 50% and has allowed police to focus on law enforcement work. It has been a success story that is now going to be implemented by the Sheriff's Department all across Sheboygan County. Additionally, last year in our budget, with the support of the City Council, we've added 3 more police officers to our force with the support of a COPS grant. And additionally, one of our larger public safety investments, we will be moving forward with building a new fire station headquarters and public safety complex. As calls for service increase and technology advances, we need to ensure that our first responders have the necessary tools to keep all of our residents safe. A Few cities are as fortunate as Sheboygan when it comes to our natural assets. Our parks, trails, riverfront, and world-class lakefront are a source of pride and joy. They are places where families gather and visitors fall in love with our city. We continue to make investments in all of our 36 parks. One great example of working with citizens to improve our parks in 2025 was the Evergreen Trail Project. We listened to neighbors, met with community members, many elders did tours over there to better refine the future plans for one of our largest parks in the city. Additionally, more good news in our parks this year, we'll be having a new operator for the beer garden in Kiwanis Park. We are excited to tap the first keg this spring, and we're looking forward to folks sharing a beverage and bringing our community together at our beer garden along the river in Kiwanis Park. Additionally, as many folks know, Sheboygan was the first pet-friendly certified city in the state of Wisconsin. And due to high community demand, we're adding 2 more neighborhood dog parks in our city. One at Moose Park, an additional one at Cleveland Park as well. These additions provide more neighborhood dog parks that neighbors can walk to and converse with their neighbors. Additionally, over the last several years, our engineering team and Department of Public Works team has been working with the Great Lakes Cities Initiative and the Lakeshore Natural Resource Partnership to help address shoreline erosion issues all across our waterfront. These key partnerships are responsible for moving forward with this important multi-year protection project to enhance our shoreline against erosion and high water. An additional large project that many folks are familiar with that we've been working on is our marina revitalization. The marina is over 30 years old and needs significant capital repairs. It's more than a beautiful place just to dock a boat. It's a community space that showcases our beautiful lakefront, and we are working together with Edgewater Resources to ensure that our investment enhances the waterfront and the entire community. I want to thank the residents who participated in the engagement sessions, and we are still in the planning stage, and your feedback is very valuable. We want to make sure that we're managing good investments for the future of our city, and we want folks to stay tuned for more opportunities for community engagement. Additionally, I'm excited to announce that the Army Corps of Engineers will be working towards repairing the North Pier. The Army Corps has just begun their design and engineering process to rebuild North Pier in 2029. The goal is to make a very similar replication of what happened at South Pier a few years ago. This investment will continue to enhance our waterfront and make it accessible for many of our residents. Another update on the waterfront. Last year that we were informed by the federal government that they were offloading their ownership and responsibility of the lighthouse. In order to preserve this iconic landmark, the city has taken the initial steps to take over the ownership of the lighthouse. This issue will be coming to the City Council in the coming weeks, and I encourage the City Council to take the next steps in ensuring that we can preserve our lighthouse for future generations to come. I'm happy to report that Sheboygan's positive reputation continues to grow from visitors all across our country. We are known as a destination for food, arts, and many events, and last year we broke another record for tourism. This summer, we'll be welcoming the American Cruise Lines to Sheboygan. Their ships will dock right along in a river, and visitors will spend their days enjoying all that Sheboygan has to offer. And our lakefront is a true gem and that we're proud to share with the world. This summer, we're looking forward to the future as well, to once again having the boat races in Sheboygan. Recently, the International Hot Rod Association bought P1, who ran the boat races in the past. With the boat races under new ownership, this event will allow our local residents and tourists to enjoy our biggest event yet by bringing in more variety of boats and more jet skis to the shores of Lake Michigan this summer. One of Sheboygan's greatest strengths is our ability to work together. Looking around the city, you can see the vibrancy and the loyalty so many families have right here in our community. Our diverse community is made up of working folks from all different walks of life, and we share the same values of hard work, innovation, love of family and friends, and delight in the beauty of our parks in Lake Michigan, and with a deep appreciation of our welcoming neighbors. There is a reason why we are known as a wonderful place to live, work, play, and raise a family. Looking ahead, the future of Sheboygan is not something that just simply happens to us. It's something that we're actively building together. We'll continue to focus on responsible growth and development, strong neighborhoods and housing options, infrastructure that supports the next generation, and a welcoming and inclusive community, and a local economy that creates opportunity for all. We are moving forward together, guided by our steadfast vision of what the city has for opportunity and potential. Sheboygan is more than just a place on a map. It's a community, people who care, who show up, who choose to invest and raise their family here. Together, we're writing the next chapter of our city story, and I know it's a hopeful one. And thank you for your commitment to our great city. Thank you for everyone in your partnerships. We have so much more work to do. Thank you again. Thank you, and God bless our beautiful city of Sheboygan. All right. We'll get back to our regularly scheduled programming. Consent agenda items 10 through 19. Alder Decker.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to accept and file all reports and adopt all resolutions.
Second.
Thank you. Moved in second. Any discussion on consent agenda items? Alder Bellinger.
Thank you, Mayor. I have 3 items, 12, 13, and 17, that I would like to either make a comment on or address. So the first one being 12, which is the report by the fire chief. I would just like to thank the fire chief for submitting this. I find these reports very informative and interesting, and just give you the opportunity to make any comments or make us or elaborate on anything that was presented in this report, or make us aware of anything new.
Fire Chief.
Yeah, thank you, Alder Bellinger. So with this report, there was a couple of bullet points that I wanted to point out. Our call volume from last year was 7,350, which is a significant increase over the previous year. And what results in that is overlapping incidents that also increased over 13%, which has continuously increased throughout the years. So an overlapping incident, and we've been asked many times what that is when one incident is occurring, another incident happens within that time frame. So an average ambulance call lasts maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes, depending on what it is. And during that 45-minute period, 1, 2, 3 other calls might come in. So there really isn't much that we can do about that, because you will have overlapping incidents as you get busier and busier. But it's something to point out, because it involves most of our crews. So sometimes we have all 5 stations out at a call. Quite honestly, it happens more often than you think throughout the year. So the crews continue to do the training, which will help. We're continuously looking at our ISO rating. We're at class 2, but by continuing to increase our trainings when possible, we will continue to move towards maybe decreasing that to a 1, which would help the residents and businesses in Sheboygan. Thank you for asking.
Thank you for the response.
Any follow-up on this one?
No.
Okay.
Then
Go down the list, John.
On number 13, that would be the report submitted by the Chief of Police, Chief Semple. One of the numbers that I saw in that report that was kind of eye-opening to me was the number of open records requests in a year. It's 7,500. There's about 20 requests a day. I found that just kind of surprising, actually, to tell you the truth. But again, congratulations on the good work of getting the crime down, and the rest of the numbers looked all in line or, greatly improved. So thank you for that. And I would just give you the same opportunity to address the community or the council with anything that you would like us to be aware of, or go in depth on anything that you feel like you need to.
Chief?
Thank you very much. I'll just talk about open records requests. There is an increase. It's been somewhat of a trend over the last several years that we're seeing more open records requests. I'll put in a little bit of context for you. This is related to the number of law incidents, essentially, or calls for service that we're handling in the community, which usually ranges between 20 and 25,000. And so I guess to compare it to that number, you can think of it as about 25 to 30% of those contacts result in an open records request. Most of those requests are your sort of everyday normal processing and sharing of information, such as crash reports, incident reports that people were involved in that they might need for insurance purposes. And so they're fairly easily handled in an efficient way. There's two major trends that have been happening lately that I think make the number a little bit more difficult to deal with. And the first is that there are some people who decide to sort of weaponize the open records process and file repeated requests for information that really bogs down our staff and prevents them from fulfilling sort of the other requests from the community that are, the normal type of requests. The other trend is that I'm sure anywhere you look on YouTube, you can probably find videos of police traffic stops or arrests that provide some sort of sadistic entertainment value, and that there are essentially people who've turned that into a business to try to file requests to obtain video from police departments. The state recently changed the law to give us a bit of a mechanism to try to regulate those types of requests. It's our opinion that there's still some help that the legislature could give us, and we've certainly communicated that to them, both directly with our local legislators and through our statewide chiefs organization to try to help combat some of the profiteering that happens off of public records like that.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anything else?
I will say that we are sort of modifying our benchmarks, and so you will see this report change with them. Last year, we established benchmarks to help track proactive work, and so that's essentially the second to last group of three towards the bottom with neighborhood foot patrols, hotspot crime patrols, and field interviews. This is, for the most part, a way for us to really keep people focused on good proactive work that helps prevent crime and prevent crashes. And you can see that that combined with the HVE deployments, a couple of lines up from that, which is high visibility traffic enforcement campaigns, that we smashed our goals, that people were really out there, the cops were out there doing the work that we were hoping that they would do in their free time to help prevent crime and prevent crashes. And I think the results are directly connected to that proactive work.
Thank you.
Right. City Administrator has some follow-up.
Yeah, just a couple questions on the open records. We just met with some of our legislative representatives this morning, and just some more context for council and for the community. How many staff do we have dedicated just to open records in the police department? And what's the current backlog in the police department?
Sure. Yeah, thanks for mentioning that. So we have about 3 people whose responsibility is primarily filling open records requests. They essentially work on a rotation where for 1 week they're sort of on intake. So any requests that come in, they're responsible for then taking those requests through to completion, and then they have 2 weeks before they're on that rotation again to fulfill those requests and actually get the work done rather than responding to the requests in the first place. And there's requirements at each step of the process. Sometimes we have to clarify what the request is. There's sometimes a form that needs to be sent out to gather more information from the requester. So there's quite a bit of work with each request rather than just locating the records and then providing them and fulfilling the request. In addition, there's a supervisor that manages that group, as well as our digital evidence manager, who's in addition to the 3 people who handle the primary open records requests. The digital evidence manager is responsible for video and audio requests or other digital media. And so right now we've actually been able to get caught up quite a bit because of getting some help from people who are on light duty or in other assignments that could contribute. So we added to that group of 4 people with some extra staff. We still have a backlog of about 200 video requests right now.
Chief, any follow-up, Alder Bellinger?
No.
Okay. Thanks, Chief. You had one more item?
Yes, just item 17, which is the DPW into the contract, removing trees from Evergreen Park. I was out of town last week, unable to attend the Public Works Committee meeting, so I didn't get a chance to ask any questions at that meeting. I did read the document. Again, I'm very pleased that we're doing this and we're getting a start on things. But again, I share some of the same concerns that were addressed at Public Forum. When I toured the Evergreen Park prior to the cycling request to increase the trails and maintain trails there, I was shocked at the state of the park and the number of trees that were down and the damage that was done due to that windstorm. I made my concerns known at that time that I thought something needed to be done. I'm glad that we started this process, but I would just like to give, Director Peterson or Park Superintendent Curlin the opportunity to address this, give us some more details on this project, as well as a plan moving forward to take care of, the existing trees that are down in the park.
Director Peterson?
Yes, thank you for the question. And I know how passionate a lot of people are about our parks. So this project is strictly for standing trees, mainly all dead ash trees that have the potential to come down over a road, pathway, we call them widowmakers. So this project is focused on those trees right now. Now, some of them may still be resulting from the storm of 22, but the trees that are down already don't pose a significant risk. Most of those have been throughout the park that have been cleared from the trails. So, but as a follow-up, Alder Bellinger, we are talking internally of plans to revitalize Evergreen Park. Not only that park, but all our parks, but a focus will be on Evergreen because we do fully understand there is a lot of down trees yet from the storm and just natural. And we also understand that when people are walking through there and around our park system, they don't like to look at, a big debris pile, so to speak. And a lot of that is just the way the trees have come down. No intention from anybody placing them there. But yes, we are working on plans to address that and hopefully revitalize, reforest Evergreen to a more natural, visible, and aesthetically pleasing status.
Any follow-up, Alder Bellinger?
Thank you. Just to state that, I appreciate the answer and the continued focus on this. A lot of people that I do talk to are concerned about it, and I think the down trees do present a risk as far as fire hazard and things like that. So and again, to make it more aesthetically pleasing, it is kind of an eyesore. So anything that we can do to increase or speed this process up, I'd be fully supportive of. So if there's anything that I could do to assist or, as a council member, I welcome that. So thank you.
Thanks, Alder Bellinger. Any other discussion on any of the items on the consent agenda? All right, seeing none, this will be a roll call vote.
Nine ayes.
Those items are approved. Under resolutions, resolution number 1332526 by Alders Decker and Rust, authorizing the donation of a 2005 UTV Kawasaki Mule to Elwood H. May Environmental Park Association of Sheboygan County. Alder Decker.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to adopt the resolution.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote.
9 ayes.
That's approved. Item 21, it will be referred to the City Plan Commission. Alder Decker, we've exhausted our agenda. What is your privilege?
I move to adjourn.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor of adjournment state aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned at 6:39. Good night, everybody.